Hi everyone. With all the fear and panic in the world at the moment, I just thought it was wise to post this video even if it made only a difference for a few people. So we're dealing with a pandemic at the moment, and only just recently it's actually been deemed a pandemic. So there's a lot of fear and a lot of panic going around, and to a large extent for a good reason. I'm not a medical professional, but I am a former mental health and relationship counsellor. And I'm aware how important your physical health is dependent on your emotional and mental health. It's very easy to get pulled into the fear, into the panic, and that is going to affect your emotional and mental health. So in these circumstances, how important it is to actually remain calm. So this video is directed towards people who are self-isolating, either because they've actually got the virus or because they've been traveling and they have been actually told to self-isolate. This is also for people who have mild to moderate symptoms of the virus. So welcome to my channel. I'm Rachel. I'm from Creative Pathways Coaching. Welcome today. The link for my website is in the description below. This video is about remaining sane while you're self-isolating. Now, for a lot of us, it will be 14 days. For a lot of people, it might actually be more, particularly if there is a lockdown in many countries. I know that's happening at the moment. This is a survival guide to help you with the cabin fever that you may experience during your time of self-isolation, just to sort of keep you sane, as it were. So if you've heard or experienced seasonal depression, you know what I'm talking about and how important it is to put into place, the required activities and the ways in which you can make that time that you have to self-isolate as pleasant as possible. So it's a mad world out there at the moment, and it's important for your physical, emotional and mental health that you're in an okay place. Both an okay place for you and for your loved ones. Talking to friends recently, a couple of them said, oh, well, that's okay. If I need to self-isolate, I'll just take 2 weeks off work. That's great. I did need a holiday. Now, it's okay if you've maybe got very mild symptoms of the virus, or even if you're self-isolating because there's a suspicion you may have it, but you don't. But for most people, being sick is not pleasant, and you're not going to catch up on a lot of stuff that you would do on your holiday if you were taking a holiday. So we need to be very clear about the expectations here. Being trapped in your home for 14 days or more can be almost intolerable for some people, particularly for extroverted people who need to have the interactions with other people, both physically as well as emotionally as well. And for some of us like myself, who I work from home, 2 weeks is not a big deal. But being sick in my house for 2 weeks is a different thing. So what about you? For a large proportion of people, being sick is not pleasant. I think most people don't find being sick pleasant. Usually there are feelings of irritation, frustration, sadness, even depression can hit, particularly if you're sick for more than a couple of days. So, you're lying in bed, you're sick of lying in bed, you try and get out of bed, but you're too tired to get up. It's frustrating, it's irritating. It is not an ideal situation. So this video today is really about giving you some practical ideas to really help you to stay uplifted during your time when you're self-isolating, to really keep you healthy both emotionally and mentally while your body is dealing with the ramifications of this virus. Now, for people who are self-isolating because they have to and they're not sick, this is also good. This video is also good for you too, just to check in and see, just to make the experience just that little bit more pleasant when you have to be trapped in your home or wherever you are for 14 days. So, tip 1, don't expect that much from yourself. Don't expect, like I said before about people who thought that they were going to have a bit of a holiday if they got this virus. Don't expect much of yourself. you're probably not going to be able to work from home. There's a high probability, unless you've got the virus mildly, there's a high probability you're probably not going to be able to work from home. Secondly, you may not be able to read that book that you were planning on finishing. Lying in bed, being sick, and allowing yourself to just let go and be sick is probably the best thing to do. Don't worry that you haven't got the housework done. Just allow yourself to be sick and heal. Yeah, maybe if you've worn that t-shirt for the last 4 days and it's getting a bit smelly, oh well. Tip 2. Now you're going to be watching TV or Netflix or something like that, very probably, most people would be. A way to sort of occupy your brain while you're sort of lying in bed just being sick and not being able to do much. May I suggest something? So rather than just watching mindless TV, get yourself some movies and TV series, so like I said, Netflix, that are humorous. So what I want you to do is really concentrate on stuff that's actually going to make you laugh. Laughter actually increases the endorphins in our brain. So the endorphins are part of hormones that actually, they decrease pain or our perception of pain. So they're a bit of a natural form of morphine or codeine. It also reduces the stress hormone in your body and increases serotonin. Serotonin is the happy hormone. So laughter is really, really important just to keep you emotionally and mentally happy. Win-win as far as I'm concerned. So definitely start watching those movies that are humorous. Watch those TV series that are humorous. Tip 3, meditation. Now, meditation is along the same lines as laughter. It does exactly the same thing. So yes, it does. It increases the endorphins, it reduces the stress hormone, and it increases serotonin in your body. So it does exactly the same thing. So you've never meditated before? That's okay. YouTube has a lot of guided meditations you can use, you can listen to. I also have some resources on my website for meditation as well. And if you're too tired to sit up, that's okay. You can lie down and meditate. If you happen to fall asleep, it's not the worst thing in the world. Tip 4, visualization. So while you're lying there and you're watching TV or movies and you're meditating, while you've got a bit of spare time there, and you probably do, try and do some visualization at least once or twice a day. Visualization can help with healing. It can help emotionally and mentally. So really visualize yourself healthy again. Visualize what you're going to do once your self-isolation period is over. Once you go back to doing your normal daily, routines, that sort of stuff. I really want you to really emphasize the details, the smells, the tastes, the sounds, the stuff you're going to eat that you forgot to get, when you were shopping for your self-isolation period. So things like that. Really visualize what your life is going to be after this and how healthy you're going to be and what's going to happen after that. This is using the law of attraction to get you well again. Tip 5, Skype or FaceTime your friends and family. Now, it's all well and fine. You can message friends and family and just let each other know you guys are going okay. But it's actually really quite important to have that visual with regards to how we bond and connect with people. That visual stimulus, that visual is so important, and particularly so when you're maybe erring more on being sad and irritated and frustrated. Having the visual connection with someone is really important. So the visual actually helps with that intimacy and that connection with that other person, and then it helps you heal. So what it does in that bonding hormone, which is called oxytocin, that really helps you to feel loved and connected. So it's really important that, yes, all well and fine you're messaging or texting your friends and family, really emphasize the visual. And I know you're probably not going to look that great. What's more important is that you get healthier faster, that you feel okay and you're happier, and the way to do that is to actually increase and create that bond and that connection there. This will really help to uplift you while you're dealing with the negative effects of self-isolation. Tip 6, cuddling. So, okay, while we're talking about oxytocin, oxytocin is the hug and cuddle hormone. It's actually the bonding hormone that helps us when we need to have intimacy, and how important it is for our emotional and mental health. Now, for a lot of you, you'll be self-isolating with your family, with your partner, with your children. So it's important that you get lots of cuddles and you give lots of cuddles as well. You also might have pets as well. And for people who are living alone and who have pets, it's particularly important to cuddle your pets. It's important to you, and actually I think it's important for your pets as well. Be aware, even though the virus isn't transmitted to domestic animals as far as they know, it's not advisable to cough and splutter all over them either. Tip 7, eat fresh food. Now I know that after about a week, the food that you would have had in the fridge that was fresh a week ago is probably less fresh, and I'm aware of that. But if you can, as much as possible, really important, particularly so with fruit, so fruit, veggies, salad stuff, but particularly oranges and mandarins. I mean, this is just a given because of the vitamin C. Now, definitely because of the vitamin C, but also it's a natural sugar because it'll also give you some energy there too. So if you've got some oranges or mandarins, cut them up, eat them. Tip 8, water. Stay hydrated. This is probably a pretty obvious one, but I just want to emphasize it because I think some people don't drink enough fluids. Now, doctors will recommend probably a flat lemonade, which is great because what it actually does is it hydrates you, but it also gives you that sugar, which is important for energy. But just plain water does amazing things. I would recommend, like I said, I'm not a medical professional, but I'd recommend at least 2 liters of water a day. I think as human beings, we don't drink enough water, so really make sure you're hydrated during this time. So chances are you're probably either going to have a fever or you've had a fever. In this circumstance, it's really important, the water, but as well on top of that, when you have a fever or when you've had diarrhea, you lose a lot of the minerals, essential minerals that you sweat out. So what you're actually doing is losing a lot of fluid, but losing those minerals. So it's really important, and if you've got any in your home, to actually have a hydrolyte and put a hydrolyte into some water and drink that. And that will then give you those minerals back that will help you to heal faster. Tip 9, sleep. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, I'm sleeping all the time. Rachel, I'm sleeping all the time. And I would agree to some extent, but chances are it's broken sleep. Probably you're waking up a lot, you're attending to your body needs, including wiping your nose, you're sweating and with a fever, so you're not sleeping properly. So it's important to make sure that you get more than enough sleep. Your body needs time to heal, and the best time it gets to heal is when you're asleep. So it's actually, and really good sleep, that proper sleep that you need to have. So really make sure you get as much sleep as possible. So just let it go and go to sleep. And look, you can use those meditations I said before to help you to go to sleep. So the more you sleep, the more your body has an opportunity to heal and get back to normal. So let it. So, as I said before, I'm not a medical professional. A lot of what I've said today is practical, and you probably know it intellectually. You probably know, yeah, I should do that. But sometimes you need someone just to remind you of this. So I'm happy to remind you. So I hope this video is helpful for you, and I wish you good health, peace, and happiness into the future, and that we all go back to normal very soon. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe below to see future videos. I post a video every Wednesday. And if you have any comments or suggestions for future videos, please pop them down in the comment section below. Good luck, good health, and I'll see you next week.